What? Welcome to the Wisdom and Truth. Why the heck does it keep going? Crazy phone. Nobody home. You know what? Why do you keep doing that? What the hell was I doing? Please.
To affirm comment 11.
Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, I'm trying to find something. What up, my brother? What's the answers and when will I learn what the world's trying to teach me? This yeah, freedom sometimes. Yo, let me just read this. Because this shit is crazy, right? This makes no sense. And some people think I pick on them. I swear. Some people think I'm so mean. All right. So this guy started messaging me. What video he started messaging? Well, no, damn that. Because then if I do all that, it's gonna take forever. There was some video. What the hell was I talking about with this guy jumped in? Oh, so there's a video where this kid is saying if Satan, when he was cast out of heaven, deceived a third of the angels, why doesn't nobody trust and read in the Bible, right? So not that I was even going to comment on the video, but then when he said the 1/3, like the father smacked me in the face. It felt like the father was like, "Yo, did you hear that?" And I was like, "The third." I said, "Fuck, a third of the world is Christian." Okay, and I actually made a video. I think I made a video response to that shit. Just like I'm laughing now because I swear, I only laugh because it's like it's not like a I make a like it's not a funny laugh. It's not like a make fun of somebody laugh. It's a laugh of like joy, like wow, like it's almost like a laugh that I know I'm not gonna die. Right, every time I say, listen, I know energy don't die, and everything that I like the crazy stuff that some people think I be saying. When I'm laughing, that I just got confirmation that this shit is real. That's what that's about. That's all. Like I got a couple people that I'm going back and forth with that hopefully they'll come up on YouTube and chill out with us. I'm trying to find like a platform where we could just all come. Like I know it's got to be a Discord, but I'm trying to do it in a way. I don't know. I got to research that where we could just all communicate in one place, like on a daily basis or something. But only like the 0%ers, like no 1%ers, no 5%ers, 3%ers, 85. Only 0%ers. That people that totally say F the world and I'm moving only in the Father's direction. Right? Not that I'm trying to choose a side with that. We'll deal with those people on the outside. But we need a place where we can not like a churchy thing either. Just a place where we can go online, communicate, say some questions, blah blah blah, get some encouragement, stuff like that. That's what I mean. All right. So anyway, this guy's he said the comment that I ended up direct messaging him was he said if it's not in the Bible, then I don't want to talk about it or something like that. Or if it's not in the Bible, it's not true. I said, son of a, right? Listen, and don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of people I think that get me wrong. I love the Bible. And I can probably say the whole thing. Like I got favorite books. The book of Job is my favorite book. The story of Joseph is a favorite of mine. Abraham is a favorite to me. David, I love David. And there's others too. Like that I love in that movie. In the movie, in the book. But I also love some stories in the Nagamani Texas. Right? Anything that accounts for Jesus, I love all that. I love all that. I love all that. So I'm not knocking, and right now I'm reading the Quran. So I'm not knocking any book. I'm just saying it's beyond the book. If you could follow me on that, right? I'm not I'm not knocking anything, really. I'm not knocking anything. Do I think it's a lie? In regards to our definition of lie, yes. But in actuality, it is someone's perception. I heard a guy talking about the Bible and like, Esdras 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Esdras. And how some people only accept Esdras 1 or Esdras 1 and 2. He's like, why didn't they put in 3 and 4? Even in scripture, it says he wrote 4 of them. And I don't think he's paying attention in essence. Like each one of those books probably was written by somebody else. The first one probably was Esdras, and everything else was written by somebody else, and Esdras' name was put on it. Like in our, like, I don't, that, I did a video on this earlier on TikTok too. But I like, no matter what conversation I'm getting into with anybody, no matter what we're debating about, no matter what the back and forth is, I always say something in reference to the creator being the unconditional loving creator and him creating the life that we all share. And Jesus represented that life with unconditional love. And no one seems to get it. So truth that stands alone is they're either not ready to accept it or they've already made their choice. And that's okay, right? Jesus had parables about that. You knock on somebody's door, you bring them peace. They don't want your peace. Cool. You turn away, you walk out, you dust your feet off and keep it moving. As simple as that. And that's what I do. I live by that. That's what I do. I'm not getting in a fight with nobody. Like, I'm not trying to, and like this guy that I'm talking about right now, I even messaged him after I met. You'll see. Let me read these real quick. So that's the backup story, right? He commented. He said, "I can't believe nothing in the Bible." Blah blah blah. Right? I go to him because he's messaging me, so I message him. But I'm tired of going through the little comments in the videos, so I start direct message. I direct message him. I said, "Hey, how long have you been studying the Bible, and have you ever researched the Bible itself and how it came to be?" Right? So I think before I sent this, he commented again. Oh, no. Never mind. It's the same comment that he commented that I started commenting. All right. So he's saying if it's not in the Bible. So I said he says to me, over 30 years, being honest, I have had 4 very powerful encounters with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. I don't know if you have listened to any of my videos. And then he got I guess he saw that I sent him a message. So then he says, March 16, 9 through 20, there is a lot there. What is it you are wondering about? All right. So I watched a couple of your videos, but none on your encounters. I will go and watch all your videos. So in Mark 16, 9 through 20, it is known by secular and Christian theologians and historians and scholars alike. They agree that those verses were added later. Not one of the oldest copies have these verses. Proof at minimum, this book was added to later. So in your 30 years and definitely knowing this, can you honestly say that the Bible is the only word of God? See, and that's another point I want to make. See, and that's me. I don't think the Bible is the only word of God. So that's just, I think the word of God is everywhere, in everything, and in everyone, but separate from us, if you could follow that. Okay, and then I had to throw these in there. Please understand, I am coming with unconditional love and seeking to fellowship with you. I love the Bible as a good read, but I do not believe it to be the Creator's word. I have read it over a dozen times, 13 to be exact. I have gone to the Northeast Biblical Institute to learn all I can about it until the Father said I only need His Spirit to guide me. Just curious of your feedback and viewpoints. This is what he messaged me back. Yes, that is for sure. Too much deep investigation can really be confusing. I will put it this way. God is sovereign. When books were added to or when they were written are really not a concern for me. I know God protects us so we will not be deceived or misled. As time goes by, we learn and understand more than previous generation. In terms of the Bible being the only inspired true word of God, it is. But to be clear, God speaks to us constantly, but that is a personal relationship. I did not do videos on my visitation with God. My language and understanding is completely other to the average Christian, and that is because I met God. Okay. All right. I didn't really like his answer because he didn't answer my Mark question. Okay, so like it's like you respond to me like this, but you even asked me specifically about Mark. Okay, and the one thing you just say is too much deep investigation can really be confusing. And I'll put it in this way: God is sovereign. So when books were added to or when they were written are really not a concern for me. Listen, and listen, I understand what he's saying, sort of. Right? You know God's word, then you shouldn't be concerned. The concerning thing for me is this. If the God of the Bible is who he says he is, then why wasn't all the words preserved in the original way it was formed? Like, fuck, I just seen a video talking about a Bible that was burnt in a building and the Bible didn't burn. So that's what I'm saying. Why is there not a book today that didn't burn through all the shit that we've gone through throughout the centuries and decades and millennia and all this time from the beginning of Adam and Eve till now? Why is there not one book that was preserved the whole way? Then I would believe in the book. Outside of that, when you understand who the creator is and you understand that unconditional love that he's trying to get us all to understand, so that we can live in the new earth and new heaven with no more pain, suffering, sorrow, death, hunger, thirst, all of that. And the only way to get there is by this unconditional love collectively. So I know the truth is within the Bible. But what were the Jews guilty for as far as Jesus always making comments about them? They were leading people astray. They keep preaching this law that they don't even follow. Especially when it came to adultery and stuff like that. They had temple prostitutes. You're like, no, it didn't. All right, go back to Judah then. If you don't think so, go back to Jacob's son Judah and how he had a baby with not Terah. I forgot her name, but he had some sons that married this woman. He had his youngest son that when he was of age, through their tradition, he had to give him to the woman. And Judah went somewhere on like a pilgrimage or something, went to a town, paid for a temple prostitute. It was actually the girl in disguise. And he got her pregnant and she hustled them because he didn't have no money at the time. So he got it on credit and left his markings with her so that she can collect his money later. So it was such a regular thing for a guy of the Israelite faith to go with a prostitute. It was cool that he left his signet ring and his things that she can come and get payment later from his people. So is that not backwards? It's almost like looking at the Abraham and him sacrificing Isaac as the creator asked him to do that. The creator didn't ask him to do that. The God of this world asked him to do that to see how loyal Abraham would be to him. Period. Like, I don't even understand why people don't understand this shit. Period. Why do I say it like this? Because look. Oh, shit. Did I erase it? God damn it. Hold on. What was it on here? Oh, no, I ain't even on there. Let me listen. If you just Google, matter of fact, I got a computer. If you just Google Satan, I'm gonna show you something, okay? And I didn't even know this. I swear, I didn't even know this shit. Okay. I never really researched Satan, so I don't know. Like, I researched the Satan Bible and stuff, but I never researched Satan. Like, what let me say something to you. I don't think you're gonna hear me though, but I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna read this shit, okay? And this is like, granted, it's Wikipedia, But the one thing I could give Wikipedia is they give you all the information. Like, they don't care if it's good, bad, opposite. They don't care. They're putting everything, every piece of information they can find, they put into what they do. All right. When I read this, I said, no way. There's no fucking way. All right, listen. Satan, also known as the devil, and sometimes also called Lucifer in Christianity. That's key. Okay. Also called Lucifer in Christianity. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Is an entity in the Abrahamic religions that seduces humans into sin or falsehood. That's a key too. Falsehood. That's a key. Seduces humans into sin or falsehood. Now here it comes. In Judaism, Satan is seen as an agent subservient to God, typically regarded as a metaphor for the Yetzer Hara or evil inclination. So, if you didn't understand what that meant, layman's terms, it means that God has a counterpart, and his counterpart is the wrath. He's the love, and his counterpart is the wrath, which is Satan. In Judaism, though. In Judaism. In Christianity and Islam, he is usually seen as a fallen angel that has rebelled against God, who nevertheless allows him temporary power over the fallen world and a host of demons. In the Quran, Shaitan, also known as Iblis, is an entity made of fire who was cast out of heaven because he refused to bow before the newly created Adam and incites humans to sin by infecting their minds with waswas, evil suggestions. Right? And that's like, listen, if you're, all those statements are true, which is crazy. All right. But the craziest, look, and it says it again, a figure known as Ha-Satan, the Satan, first appears in the Tanakh. That just tripped me out. First appears in the Tanakh as a heavenly prosecutor, a member of the sons of God, subordinate to Yahweh, who prosecutes the nation of Judah in the heavenly court and tests the loyalty of Yahweh's followers during the interterrestrial mental period, possibly due to influence from the Zoroastrian figure of Angra Mainyu. The Satan developed into a malevolent entity with abhorrent qualities and dualistic opposition to God. In the Apocrypha Book of Jubilees, Yahweh grants the Satan referred to as Mastema authority over a group of fallen angels or their offspring to tempt humans to sin and punish them. All right, look, there's some keys there. First of all, the thing that I didn't know, like, I've always looked at Satan in the Jewish way, right? As like almost like a counterpart that passes God's judgment, so to speak. Before I believed in an unconditional creator, or before I knew about the unconditional creator. But isn't that funny as shit? That not only did Christianity steal the Jewish people books, they contradict their books in their teaching. What the fuck? Right? What the fashizi? And the fact that they're trying to say that Satan first appears in the Tanakh means he didn't appear in the Torah. Like, that's why sometimes you got to dig deep in this stuff, man, because it contradicts itself. Listen, though I'm in this man information, right? The books, man information, all of it, man information. Even though that was a flaw, even though I'm in the man information, which I hate being in, by the way. I'd rather just sit and talk about life. right? And ironically, I'll be saying things that are similar to the stories in these things anyway. But it'll just be conversation without like Bibles and books, like kind of directing it. Like I wish I could be. I did video like a month ago. Like I'm done with these damn books. And the reason why I want to be done with the books because it's like my one dude that's on YouTube says, "Kingdom of Truth." It's in you, right? The truth I'm bringing you is in me. The reason I'm using all this outside information is because most of us know this information, but we only know Judaism, Christianity, and Islam through bits and pieces of information, really. Right? Even if you read the whole Bible, if you don't know where Christianity started from, how the fuck do you know about Christianity? And my bad. I knew I was going to listen. This video is a pain in my ass. Okay? It's only like an 11, 12, or did I make it 13? See, that's the problem. Every time I go into it and watch it, and like, all right, cool, I'm about to send it out. It's like I see something else, like, no, let me add this, or let me add. Like, the first video is all about the structure. Like in the beginning of it, it's about the structure of what they put in place as an organization of Christianity. And then I talk a lot about Clement of Rome, which they say was the fourth appointed as Pope, but he actually took over for Peter, or what they say he took over for Peter, even though there was two people appointed before him, but they were appointed to other positions as like bishops and stuff. Either way, I talk about Clement because Clement was the one that took over after Peter and Paul as far as Pope and claimed to be followers of him. And the only reason we know Peter got crucified and how, and the only reason we assume that Paul got crucified and how is because of Clement of Rome, even though there's only one letter really officially claimed to be from Clement of Rome, but there's also other writings from Clement of Rome that also circulated. Right, and there's some parts I put in the video too that are similar to things that you hear in the New Testament. But these people made the New Testament. These are the people. Like that video I'm bringing you are the people that made it from the first to the fourth, like the 4th century. This is when this thing was constructed, my friends. I'm telling you, an unconditional love. Even like I'm reading the Quran right now, same thing because it's talking a lot about Jesus. So that means it was written after the fact of Jesus, just in its words. Just in his words. I find that this stuff wasn't written before Jesus. I gotta go Quran status because that's the shit I'm talking about. I want to hear about Jesus prior to Jesus being here. Then I can follow what you're saying. It's as simple as that. Other than that, I'm going through things, just looking for that unconditional love. That's it. Discernment. That's how you discern it, by unconditional love. It's got to be discerned either the creator or the world. The creator, unconditional love. The world, step on people, be an asshole, only love your one group and leave everybody else outside of it. All this stuff is going on the world side. But the creator side is only unconditional love for all of us. All of us. All of us. Each and every one. The most evilest person you think of right now. Him too. Her too. Her too. Biden, Trump, all of them. All of them are coming. Everyone. Every unconditional love for every single last one of us. And in a Christian perspective, if you think God forgave you of your sins, that means Jesus said, just be just like me. That means you have to forgive everyone else of their sins. So much so that it's accounted that Jesus said, forgive them for they know not what they do, before he took his last breath. So that's how deep that goes. And that's what that's the things I'm talking about. These are the things I'm bringing to the table. I'm just showing you the person of Jesus respect. Right? People call Jesus God, but yet when his mother, brother, and sisters came to take him by force because they heard somebody was going to kill him, they were outside because it was so crowded. They sent the message, tell Jesus come outside, we got to talk to him. And Jesus said, my mother and my brothers and my sisters are here. If Jesus was claiming to be God, okay, then he would have said, my people are here. I'm God and my servants are here. But he didn't. Even when his boys were arguing right before in the Last Supper, right before they left the room, they're arguing. I'm going to be the greatest. 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 And Jesus comes and just doesn't say shit, takes off all his clothes and starts washing their feet to the point where Peter was like, no, sir, you don't wash my feet. And here goes Peter again. Satan, get behind me. Satan, get behind me, my friend. If I don't wash your feet, you don't go. He said, then wash my whole body. See, it's different. It's different. Right? But you got to catch the story. Like, these are people just like us. Right? The problem is the world and its religions and its principalities and powers have you believing that Jesus is that dude in the fucking movie sitting next to the ice cooler talking about, praise God, brother. Don't do it, brother. No, that is not. Listen, if you think any of those street preachers are representing the true essence of Jesus, the person of Jesus, they are not. If you're judging anyone, and it don't matter what the hell you're judging them for. If you think anyone is worse than you, eviler than you, they're the worst ever, two, spit on their grave, then you're lost. And you lost. You're lost and you lost. And you lost because of your own intent, your own judgment. Because who are you to call that guy anything? Who are me to call you anything? Who are you to call me? Who is anybody to call anyone anything? Or judge us for the things that we do? Because in all honesty, no one knows what's right and wrong. No one. If you know what's right and wrong, then send it to me in the email. But you don't know what's right and wrong, because as soon as you send what's right and wrong in that email, I'm gonna rebuttal it with a neutral point that's gonna show you both sides, and I'm gonna let you point out exactly what side is right. That's why every time I talk about this, or in that essence, I always bring up war. Right? There's war. So what's good and evil in war? What's good and evil in war? What side wins? Who loses? Who is the good one? Who is the evil one? Are they both not fighting for what they believe in? And being that they believe in what they're fighting for, it makes it good to them. It's as simple as that. And if you just put that with everything else in the world, forgive them for they know not what they do. Forgive them for they know not what they do. All the stuff in the Bibles in these books, as I say about Revelation happened already. Everything happened already. Everything we're hearing about, everything we're going through, we've been through already. That's why there are no mistakes in life. That's why Jesus said, you control not one hair on your head. No man knows the day nor the hour. And that's why people can use and say, yo, Revelations 12 is happening right now. Revelations 14 is happening right. They were saying the same shit 30 years ago. They were saying the same shit 50 years ago. They were saying the same shit 100 years ago. They were saying the same shit 100 years before that. Paul, the apostle, felt as though the world was going to end before he died. John, the apostle, felt as though the world was going to end before he died. And not saying they're wrong. Not saying they're wrong. Listen, you know how I feel about reincarnation, right? I never stand on the side, right? Reincarnated. I know I definitely can't see us reincarnating as an animal or anything like the insects and shit like that. The closest I got to a reincarnation is that we come back as a different person as like, you die here and then the baby's born type shit, and you forget everything, you start over. But let me put a little extra on it from a brother of mine. So, you know how Jesus even talked about it too, how Elijah be resurrected and, certain people be resurrected. And some people did say to Jesus too, right? John the Baptist was Elijah reincarnated or something. But imagine you die and you're put to sleep until you come back again. And when you come back again, you may be like a different, you may look different. Sort of. Your avatar. But then one day you're going to wake up and know exactly who you are. That's what this dude's perspective was. Right? And it makes sense. Because then when he broke it down to the Jesus level, to who Jesus was the first to be resurrected. The Spirit of Jesus was the first to be resurrected. And that makes some sense. That makes some sense. That puts perspective in the aspect of the Spirit didn't come into the world until after Jesus died, right? Which was proven, so to speak, with the 3,000, the Pentecost, right? When they converted 3,000 people that day. I've always said that Jesus came here to spark the Holy Spirit within us. So that's something to think about. As far as where we are now in this day and age, I think everything was talking about now. I think when Jesus said, once you get it, you're going to do greater things to me, he was talking about us now. Not that nobody could have done it in between the time from him and now, but he was talking more to us, right? The ones prior to, right after Jesus died, was to set it up for us. That's why I used the chess analogy of Jesus going to the cross was just the enemy taking the other guy's queen, thinking that he's taking the most powerful piece on the board. But at the end of that game, the queen comes back, because what happens when the pawn makes it to the other side? Queen comes back, and being that the enemy went to take the most powerful piece, he paid no attention to the rest of the board. So now the other pieces are attacking from the other side, and he has nowhere to go. And now that they get that pawn up there to the end, the queen comes back. The queen puts them in checkmate. Game's over. Games. I'm working on a video to like make a chess game video talking the story, so to speak. I just got to write the story, I guess, or write the analogy all out. But it's going to be awesome because like that's the move. That's the move. It's a chess game. And like Jesus is playing chess with the devil, right? With the world. We're all chess pieces. Just like, listen, if you get into Illuminati and the Freemasons and stuff, they are so big on chess, it's not even funny. All right. Anybody that knows about the game of chess, that's a man, they were playing probably chess. Adam and Eve were playing chess. That's how serious chess is, especially when it comes to the world. Or maybe it came in after the flood. Who knows? Either way, they're playing chess, right? They're making their moves. Most people always go after the 3-move, 5-move checkmate, so you always know that's predetermined. So Satan's making them type of moves, right? And then in that move, you could definitely put your queen in a position where the opponent doesn't see what's going on there. All they see is your queen, right? But if you move your horse to a certain spot, and that horse is going to clear up the bishop to move, and then or the horse is going to be able to protect the bishop you're about to move into a position, and then it's too much to explain. But Satan took the queen. Think he took the most powerful piece on the board. The people left behind, seeing the prospect of the queen back in action, they start making their moves. That's Peter, that's John, that's James, that's the rest of the closest followers of Jesus. It's the rest of them, and they played their part. Jesus going to the cross showed us the way out and marked it through history. Right? Everyone has a story about Jesus in every place. Right? You don't need the Bible to know about Jesus. Jesus and other books, obviously, if you watch this channel. And you heard about Jesus before you read a book. I don't care if you were listening to Mary Had a Little Lamb. What do you think that's about? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. That's the story of Jesus and Mary and that stuff, right? Nursery rhymes. Listen, nursery rhymes are deep, especially the one with the king and the new robe. That's what our world is. The king and his new robe. Go find that because they done took down the original. I can't find the original I used to watch. That's it, I guess, with that. Right, but what's so hard to believe? Right, and plus, no matter, it doesn't matter that Satan is described as a counterpart to God, as far as in Judaism, or a fallen angel that didn't want to submit in Christianity or Islam. No matter what, neither of them are true. Why? Because God doesn't have a counterpart. That's why. If Satan is a fallen angel, are we not fallen too? Listen, I'm telling you, I think the truth of everything, and I can't say this for sure. That's why you don't hear me talking about it much. But when it comes to angels and demons, we are them. Maybe I'm at like 75%. Like I'm never gonna bring nothing like full fledged. Like this is what I believe. Unless it's in the top 98%. And actually, I'm probably not even gonna say I believe it unless it's 100% in me, because I'm still at flat Earth 98%. So I don't believe in a flat Earth. I think all the evidence that I've been shown and the information that I've found, even on the other side of the track too, it ain't like I'm just looking like show me why the Earth is flat. No, you got to show me why the Earth is round. Right? That's how you got to look at everything. Don't just say, "Oh, why is Christianity the greatest?" No, go to the Islam, go to Buddhist, and I'm not talking about just go and take a class on the cheat sheet of what is religions and hey, today we're gonna talk about Buddhism. No, go read their books. I'm reading the Quran right now, right? Because my brother Malik sent me this book of the Quran. The Quran I have, come to find out, they have other scriptures. Oh my God. Oh my God. They just got other it's just listen, that's why I say everything is the same. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. But like I told Malik, we need to find what was before Yahweh. That we don't have none on that. We grant, I ain't talking about like Egyptians and the other gods around. Obviously, we have information on that. I'm talking about what they're not telling us, right? Like this is to me too. Like, why wouldn't Abraham have a book? And I have heard of the Noahide laws, but I'm not sure if that was really. I think those came. I don't know. We'll do some research on those. But like we need what was Abraham like? What? Listen, I don't think a lot of people missed the part in Genesis, and I'm gonna get into it in Islam because Islam got some stuff we don't know about. If you don't know about Islam got something like they got different stories that you find in Genesis about the same people in Genesis. So I'm just saying there's a difference and there's more root in Islam, believe it or not. And you'd be like, no, yes. See, a lot of people forget about Ishmael. A lot of people forget about Ishmael and what God's promise was to Ishmael. And quite honestly, Ishmael is the reason Moses did what he did. in one way or another. Even when it comes to Jacob and Esau, the Edomites was the reason when Israel was ready to go into the promised land, they had such an easy time getting there because the Edomites came in and conquered mostly everybody prior to. Go research that. See, the God, as far as in Judaism, right? They put an equal to God. So they put a bad aspect and it's equal to God. That's not true. Right? That's like almost saying opposites, right? Is a circle and a square. Right? So do you think a circle and a square are opposite or equal? If you don't know, I'm about to blow your mind. Okay. Because it's both. The answer is yes to both. Why? Because on the outside, right, a square is a square. A square is 4 90-degree angles, correct? Right? And a circle on the outside looks different than a square because a circle is in a 360-degree diameter, or the perfect circle anyway, right? So on the outside, they look totally different. Totally different. On the inside, let's say if you poured liquid into a square glass and then you pour liquid into a circle glass, like a round glass, right? Both with the same measurements. So it can kind of look different from the inside that we can see. But ultimately, a square equals a circle. What's 90 times 4? 4 90-degree angles. 9 times 4, 36. Add the 0 for the 90 approach, 360. A circle is 360 degrees. Full circle. Right? It's 180, you only go half. All right, keep that in mind. Right? So on the inside is the exact same thing. But on the core of it, the root, that voice in your head is the exact same thing. But then on the outside, visually, it looks different. You pour some liquid in it, you may get some difference. But as far as the root and core of it, it's the same. It's the same damn thing. It's just like 1 + 1 really equals 1. And you're like, what? It equals 2. No, it equals 2 ones. Get it? Because you can't, no matter how much, listen, mathematics and the way we know it is only here to divide and multiply and add and subtract, literally, right? And you're like, yeah, dummy, literally, right? Literally. Like on that deep root. Think about the deep root I just explained with the square and the circle. It's a deep root. You always got to find that deep root. When it comes to religions, find the deep root, right? God cannot be duality. Because, like I said, God ain't even good or bad. He's incorruptibility. He's incomparable. He's incomprehensible. He's beyond all things, all understandings, all everything. And his understanding is not primitive to a good and evil. That's why there was a separate tree with the knowledge of good and evil. If God is good, He gives right to evil. And in the same respect, if there is no evil, then there can't be no good. And that's truth. Some people may listen to that and be like, no, you can have good without evil. Not by definition, you can't. But you can have an unconditional loving creator that loves everyone and is asking you to love everyone too, especially since you claim to love him because he loves everyone. And if you love him, then you got to love everyone. Just like when I was growing up, right? And I got a little sister and a little brother. Ain't nobody messed with them because they already knew about me. They ain't going down like that. Okay? Not that like I was a bully or anything like that, but if there's trouble, they got my unconditional love. I unconditionally love them, and they unconditionally love me. And that means if you mess with them, you're messing with me. Period. You mess with him, you're messing with me. And that's the same for any of my followers. You mess with him, you're messing with me. I'll do it for a stranger in the street, more than likely. Maybe, because the father gave me a message once, and it was a serious fucking message. Like, so serious, like, I can't even explain the seriousness of that message. But I felt the pain. Just put it like that. Like, I felt the pain of what he was telling me would happen. And even in the Christian world, right? If Satan is the fallen angel, and in the Christian world it's talked about that a third of the angels fell with him, Christianity is 1/3 of the world. Okay? Christianity is 1/3 of the world, but 1/3 of the angels fell. That's why I say everything's already happened already. Right? When Antichrist comes, he already has a team. Because if there's anyone coming from a cloud, it's going to be the Antichrist, and everyone's going to follow him. I told you he was true. I told you he was real. Like Satan didn't know what was going to happen. That's why everything that we read and see and stuff is only a carbon copy of what we really actually are. It's a carbon copy, man. A carbon copy. What's a carbon copy? If you know what a carbon copy is that dirty ass copy. A carbon copy. Something that you like, and then you make a copy, and it's the dirtiest fucking copy ever. That's what we're living in. Right? Money has no root here. Because, money does have root here, I guess, in essence of the physical world, but it really don't. It's an illusion. Right? I just seen a video. The guy put an apple, a silver coin that was 2 ounces, and $100 bill. The silver coin, I think silver's at like $50 or something, an ounce or something, or 2 ounces. So the guy said, I'll take the $100. Then the guy said, all right, well, what would you do if you were on a deserted island? He said, then I'll take the apple. So listen, in our world, what do we think is worth? The dollar bill, the silver coin. But in actuality, the apple is the Father's treasure to you. Right? Did you ever notice when you walk out your house why there's so many fucking trees that don't produce any fruit? But yet, what is it for an apple tree to grow? And then the spread with all the seeds that'll be falling from it. Like, are you serious? Man, we can have food everywhere. Planted in every city, every town, every neighborhood, every backyard. No one would ever starve. It would be accessible to homeless people, accessible to everyone. Just walk in the farm, grab some apples and go, man. Or some oranges, or some bananas, or some pears, or a watermelon, or whatever. Because these things grow. And they produce more seeds to grow more. It's really time to wake up and figure out who the hell you're following. It's either you're following that unconditional love, because listen, you can believe me or not. You can believe that God is the God of the Bible. You can believe God is the God of Islam. You can believe God is the God of Judaism. You can believe God is the God of Christianity, which you're just saying that Jesus is God. You can believe all that good stuff. The only thing, the only place you're going to falter with any of those is they look at other people. They put authority over them with men. right? And if they serve a jealous God, is that not to spark the jealousy of that God? When you're praising Jesus, when the God said, I'm sending you Jesus, especially if you use reference to that Old Testament talking about he was talking about Jesus. Of course, Satan was talking about Jesus. He knew he was coming, right? Ironically, the Messiah that they're talking about in the Old Testament was coming back to rule shit, was coming back to conquer their enemies. Jesus wasn't that guy, especially still not to the true Jewish people that follow only the Torah. They have nothing to do with the New Testament. They only follow the Torah. They still don't think their Messiah come. They even have all the material to build a new temple if they haven't even started already. Look into it. Templeinstitute.org. They'll show you everything that's going on with their temple. Like, I don't know why it's so hard to understand that you are a child of God. When Jesus was confronted with them trying to stone him to death because he said him and the Father are one, he replied back to him, didn't God say you were God's too? As simple as that. Like, why is it so hard to believe that Jesus was rebelling against their religion? That's why they wanted to hang his ass on the cross and kill him. That's why they got his friend to betray him with a kiss. That's why Satan made that move and took the queen, because then all his boys ran away. Not until they seen him again did they all start moving in that direction. And then they had to shut that shit down. Like, listen, there's a conspiracy out there that we lost 1,000 years of history. And most of it was due to the calendar change, from what I gather from the information that I've seen so far about it. Because there's not much about it. You might find a couple videos on YouTube about it and stuff, but it's like they don't have that much information either. But it's something that's told in a lot of different groups. Like, it's something that's like rumored in Catholic Church with their Vatican and shit like that. Like Da Vinci Code status. There's stuff. And how do we know, right? Once those people got it in Jesus' day, that they didn't rule for 1,000 years? We don't. And then they had to make a new religion, like they finally got the upper hand because, hey, guess what? Satan was going to come and rule for 1,000 years. Even though, in essence of that story, I think we're in 1,000 years where Satan is locked away, and we're just a victim of ourselves, so to speak. Because have you seen Satan? Where's Satan? I ain't seen no damn Satan. When people talk about Satan, all I see is people acting like Satan. That's what I see. So who knows if Satan's gonna come back? He could, right? He could just pop off. Who knows? I don't know. I ain't gonna know until I see it any fucking way. Right now, I just think we're Satan. Mankind is Satan. Because from what I gathered from our lifetime, God hasn't come here. Satan hasn't come here. No one's showing their face. In a history of mankind that these gods used to show their faces, they're not showing their face. So I only could assume that they come in through us with even evil intentions and suggestions on one side and unconditional love for everyone on the other side. That's it, I guess. Or I should say unconditional love is the where you need to be, that narrow road, that middle way. And that good versus evil shit you need to throw in the garbage. Because even superheroes cause damage. That's the best way to explain that shit. Superman versus Batman. Batman whipped Superman's ass because he knocked the building on his peeps in his building there. Bruce Towers or whatever the hell it was. Wayne Towers. What else? I'm gonna do a video, or hopefully I'm gonna try to do a video in the next few days, just on general talk. So I'm gonna figure out a day I'm gonna do it, what time I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna set it up prior to. So anybody watching this, look out for the reminder. Like check on my page too. Don't just wait for the reminder because sometimes it don't pop up. Because my girl never gets notifications that I'm doing videos. So just keep that in mind because I want to have like some people in here, like at least like maybe 5-10 of us just talking back and forth, bringing what our truths are to the table, right? Some things we doubt, some things we got questions about, right? Where we're just like, listen, no, whatever, this is open room. Open, it don't matter what the hell you believe. Open room. Open room. Open room. Right? So what I mean by that is we're not gonna play it like, we're answering a message on some other media or something. We're gonna be there for our brother and help them to understand the truth that we may have that they don't comprehend. And they just need a little guidance to see it through, so to speak. We're not here to convince them of our way. We're just here to show them the way because their way may still be different from our way, but they found the way. If you can understand that, was like crazy, too many ways. But there's 7.6, however many people there are in the world, 7.6 billion. There's 7.6 billion ways to get the truth. So just keep that in mind, right? Always, like when you're talking to other people into, because I know there's a few people that probably aren't here right now that they comment me and they go through like, debates and shit throughout their daily. Just listen, just know, don't get frustrated, right? Forgiveness. I always remind myself when I get to that almost like, oh my God, I'm going to just walk away. Why am I even talking? Father, why am I even talking to this one? Why am I talking to this one? Can I walk away? Please let me walk away. Can I walk away? That's what I do. And then he forgive them for they don't know what they do. And I forgive them for they don't know what they do. And I'm listening. And I'm listening. And then, you know what? The conversation might have went nowhere. But I planted my seed, though. See, because I learned that as long as I get like a seed plant, I'm okay with that. Right? As long as I catch him up on something that he gets, what? Like he believes in this so wholeheartedly, but I just said something that made him say, what? Yes, that's the seed I just planted. Now he's going to go look into that if he really cares. Because some people just talk to talk and then that's it. Like you tell me something, you fucking bring some information to me, I'm looking that shit up right then and there. I'm not playing no games. The hell he just say to me? What? Right? Just like when when the guy on TikTok, when he said, hey, Satan deceived 1/3 of the angels and nobody wants to read the Bible. First of all, it's not in the Bible. Okay, there is no verse that particularly says that Satan was cast out of heaven and 1/3 of the angels will win him. In Revelations, I think it's in Revelations 12:4, maybe. Revelations 12:4, I think it says Satan takes 1/3 of the heavens, like the stars with him. Let me see something. I got it. Yes. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. That should be crazy sometimes with Revelation. Either way, right? So people, and it's listen, I thought it was in the Bible. The 1/3, Satan was cast out with 1/3 of the angels. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was in there. Okay, somewhere, and I actually thought it was in Genesis. Okay, but I didn't find it, and I'm like, whoa, what the? Right? Then I get a comment because I had to comment on that shit. Like, yo, it's crazy because I was only commenting my thoughts, and I was like, fuck, 1/3 of the world is Christian. I said, dude, is it not ironic that you just said that, and 1/3 of the world is Christian? Either way, somebody commented to that and said something like, it doesn't say that in any verse in the Bible. So, I had to go. What the fuck is he talking about? It's in Genesis. Looking. God damn, it's not in Genesis. It's got to be somewhere. Where the hell? And then I find this is like, there's other, I think in Ezekiel maybe, and maybe Jeremiah. There's not much information about Satan, ironically, in the Bible. It's like weird. But this obviously comes from the last book in the Bible, that a third of the stars of heaven fall, or he knocked them down with his tail, and they fell to heaven too. And actually, it was funny. I was talking to my boy about stars the other day. I said, I'm starting to think that the stars are reflections of light from the earth on the ground here. But that's something different. So that it's a proof of where people can, like, because they take out, I guess, all the parts where they figured out Satan and he was cast out of hell type verses, they come up with a third of the angels got cast out with him, even though this is a future event that Revelations is talking about. But that's why I say this shit happened already. And that's it with that. That's why I can't believe in none of the books as far as like, yo, I'm going to take this. Not that I take everything literally. So don't get me fucked up, right? I definitely, like when the preachers say context, I definitely say, let's go to the context. And then yesterday on a couple of videos that I commented on, these people brought up verses. I fucking went to the whole context of the verse. And I'm like, this is why it says what? I think it was a conversation about unclean. So this one guy is trying to say that Jesus never said eating pork would be okay and it's still unclean. First of all, you got to get out of the flesh and bone aspect of life, like with its understandings and like these dietary plans. If there's a diet that God talked about, it means don't eat meat. That's the diet. Don't eat meat, period. Don't eat your ribs. Don't eat your beef. Don't eat your steaks. Why? Because these are grass-fed animals that are getting killed to feed you. Did they ask to be killed to feed you? Were they put on this planet? And listen, this is how, just like I just talked about like we can grow so many fruitful trees in the world, right? If the animals die out, is that it? If the animals die out, is that it for animals? And if animals really is a source of food, why are we not taking advantage with all these dying ass countries in the world? So they say anyway, all these starving ass people in the world and all these starving ass countries that don't have clean water and they're trying to get them rice and we need you to donate. All this shit going on. And we're not looking at the kitty cat that's overriding the cities. Listen, if you can watch an episode of Fear Factor and motherfuckers eating rats, or The Survivor and they're eating rats, or Naked and Afraid and they're eating whatever they fucking find, don't sit here and say, ew, you can't eat a cat or a dog. Shut up. That's not the point of what I'm saying. I wouldn't eat a cat or a dog either, knowingly. But no, all animals should be sacred in my eyes. All animals, we should not be eating animals. There's proof that animals have emotions. There is proof that animals have emotions. And this proof is all just found in your local pet owner. I don't care if it's the fucking fish in the tank. The fish in the tank swims to he sees his little master dude. He knows when the food is coming. He has love. The kitty cat has love. The puppy has love. The dog has love. The dog will protect you. The dog will save you. Depending upon the love. Like sometimes the dog may let you fucking die because you ain't showing them no love. Beating the shit out of the dog and stuff like that. That's why this. Listen, a loving creator can't punish you, can't discipline you. He can't do any of those things to you because then he's forcing you. And what did Jesus say is a key thing that always sticks in my head from the first day I heard it about 23 years ago. Satan takes things by force. The Father can never take anything by force. That's free will. The Father can't take anything by force, and giving a command in a garden is taking something by force because you gave a command. Do not eat everything else you can eat from. Do not eat from this one. That's a command. That's an order. Eat everything else, but that's an order. That's an order. Hey, Adam, I'll tell you what, man. You can have any. Hey, you can come to my house, right? You can chill out anywhere you want. We got a bedroom for you, a bathroom for you, but you just can't sleep in my bed. That's a command. It's a command. No matter how you look at it, it's somebody giving a rule, a law. This is the law. You can eat from everything else, but you can't eat from this tree. Law. If you eat from this tree, you will surely die. Law. Because now, not only is it now the proof of the law is that it has an end result, it has a consequence. The consequence of you eating from the tree. How can it be a consequence if I have free will? How can it be a confident? How can it be if I have free will? Just saying. Think about it. Think about it. Now, an unconditional loving father's reaction to free will is if you kill yourself, you kill yourself. But you'll be back to do it again and hopefully figure it out the next time round. All right, son. See you soon. I know you're going to get it. That's what he's saying. Now, granted, I only think we have one chance. I really only think we have one chance. Like you get one chance. But you have many lives to get it, so to speak. Right? Every day is a new life. Right? Opposed to the Christian belief of, oh my God, I should thank God every day I wake up for having breath and being able to live. That don't really make sense. Jesus died on the cross for us. A lot of people, when I put that on TikTok, said he died so we can live. And I said, well, what was his sacrifice? The only sacrifice that they could really come up with logically was that he died. He sacrificed his life on this planet because he went back with the Father. He came back to life, right? Resurrected. He said he came from the Father. So he came from a place, came here, died, went somewhere else for 3 days, came back, and then went back to the Father. So what did he sacrifice? Right? It's a legit question. These are the questions I ask myself that brings me to the truth that I'm at. That's why I ask these questions to others. Because the ones that I know, the ones that are father-driven, creator-driven, they'll get it. So there had to be a reason why, right? And then you start analyzing. Like, listen, just ask yourself questions. That's all. That's all. Just ask yourself, who is Jesus? Who is the one that sent him? Things like that. And you're going to get these answers. You just got to be willing to go no matter where the results take you. No matter where the results take you. All right. So hopefully, I think that's it. I'm going to do another video in probably tomorrow or the next day. Definitely going to figure out a day to do a video where we're all in here chit-chatting. See what's a good day for a lot of people. So look, if you watch this and you're interested in that, email me so I know you're interested in that, and then I'll have your email address, and then I can even email you the day I'm going to do the video also. Or unless I find like some type of way to do Discord or something like that. I just got to look into it, really. It's probably easy. That way we could just be all talking, sharing information, sharing truths, fellowshipping, that whole shebang bang. Just be careful what you're following, right? Only follow the creator, the one. Okay? Following Jesus is like he's giving you what you need informational wise and what he said and did or is accountable for saying and doing that lines up with everything else in the other books. Let that guide you to the Father, right? And that's that spirit in you that's going to take you all the way, right? Jesus is here to like jumpstart us. We're sleeping right now, so he's here to splash some cold water on our face and wake us up. That's what his whole purpose was, to come here, smack water on our face and wake us up. Okay? What is he waking us up from? The sleep that we've been sleeping, letting the world just run us. Right? We didn't subdue the world. We submitted to it. That's not what's supposed to go down here. Right? We're supposed to subdue it. Subdue what? Subdue that financial system because that shit is crap. So and grow vegetables and fruits and things of all over the place and give animals their true right. right? Their true rite of passage, right? There's other needs. There's other things that we could get from animals besides killing them and eating them. I promise you, all animals are useful for something. Just like all insects give you warning or are good for something too. Spiders are good for killing the stupid ass insects around your house and stuff. Right? I got a couple of spiders hanging around that I don't mess around with. They ain't like big and in my face, but you know, they're on the outside somewhere doing their thing or in some crevice that I can't see. But as long as they don't come down, like they don't web in front of me while I'm watching TV, they probably won't get smacked. All right. And if I can catch them in time where they don't start on me, I'll put them in a bottle and let them free outside. And I just started doing that. Usually I just leave them in the bottle. Now I let them back out. Now I let them back out. A good way to look at yourself as far as being in this world. And it's kind of like it goes with Jesus and his new wine and new wineskins parable. Just imagine the world is an ocean. Like everything is water, right? Everything is water. The world is just one big ass ocean. Satan found a way to make a bottle, right? A glass jar. And he dipped the jar in the ocean, filled it up, and pulled it out and put a top on it. Okay? And then he threw it back in the ocean. That's us in these flesh suits. We originated from the ocean, the Father, the Creator, the Source, the One, the Eternal One. And the devil found a way to separate us from him. The separation comes in a few different forms. The separation could be purposeful, meaning it was done on purpose. They know we were being separated. It could be done by accident. It could be done unknowingly. And it could be influenced. But it's almost like thinking you sold your soul to the devil. It wasn't yours to sell. So the sale is null and void. And you're forgiven. Simple as that. And once you wake up to that, the world is yours, so to speak. Once you wake up to that fact, the world is yours. You got people that are like that 1% that are rich, that know the truth. And then you got the people that are 1% on the opposite end of the spectrum of those 1%, which may be rich as well and doing the good superhero guy thing, but is just as guilty as the other 1%. And that's usually like those politicians that you like, they're sincere because you like, yeah, I think they're sincere. That's what those are. The ones that are trying to fight the fight through the same tools used to fight. Live by the sword, die by the sword type of situation. Then as far as the ones that see the world and see its corruption and see the error in its ways, but then they look and say, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to go get the hokey pokey because, you know, they care about my life. And no matter what the information is telling me, I'm going to go. But if you're not hokey pokey, you're putting me at risk. What? I thought you got hokey pokey so you wouldn't be put at risk. Oh, no. But you still put me at risk because you're not hokey pokey. That don't even make sense. So please. Right? But that's that other group of people that just go blindly with the other 99. Like, oh, all right, guys. Looks like a pretty sunset today as we're falling off the cliff. And you got those that feel so alone. And I'm not talking about just alone. I'm talking about alone. Mentally, spiritually, alone. No one really hears what you're saying. Everyone thinks you're crazy, under the influence of something, because how could you even think like that? Or then you got the ones like in the book of Jasher, right? Abraham had a brother. I can't remember his name right now. Fuck was his brother's name? I can't remember his name right now. But either way, there was in that story, Abraham was thrown into a furnace. Almost a similar story as in the book of Daniel. The furnace was heated up, really hot. People died heating it up, and they threw Abraham and his brother in the fire. Before they went in the fire, I think Abraham told his brother, like, yo, there's nothing, don't fear, like, just believe in the God. And he said, man, I can't believe in shit you believe in. But if we come out of this fire, I'll believe wholeheartedly in everything you believe in. Obviously, he got thrown in the fire and he went right to ashes. Don't test God. Don't put God on the back burner. Like, all right, you're my backup plan. All right, you're my backup plan. But if we get out of this, I'm totally going where you're going. Yeah, you're gonna burn. You're definitely gonna burn with that attitude. That you got to have full confidence. And most of the people in the world today is Abraham's brother. All right, well, right. That's the same people that asked in the Bible, show us some signs and wonders, dude. I just healed a person over. Listen, Charlie over there, I just healed. Fucking Jeremiah over here, the little kid. He was blind since birth. He now sees color. He sees things. And you see that little girl over there? You see that little that little girl right there with the long black hair? I just resurrected her and she just died. I just brought her back to life. What other sign or wonder do you need? Another sign or wonder? Is that not the same as John the Baptist in the book when John the Baptist sends his disciples over to Jesus and says, "Are you him or not?" Jesus is like, well, go back to John and say, is there not people being healed? The blind don't see, the deaf don't hear, like people aren't being raised from the dead? Are asking what? Is this not happening right now? Like, you see how ignorant people could be? People could be ignorant as shit. Ignorant as shit. On truth. On just pure, simple truth that stands alone. That's truth that stands alone. Truth that stands alone. Truth that stands alone. But no one's paying attention to the story. That's the crazy thing. No one's paying attention. Definitely no one's paying attention. I'm paying attention. I know my brothers and sisters are paying attention. But everybody ain't paying attention. It's time for us to start paying attention. All right. So with that, you on there. I'm out. Wholeness and oneness to you always and for eternity. I love you unconditionally. If you ever need anything, you already know. My email is onlybythefather, simple, @gmail.com. I'm on TikTok, Living Wisdom and Truth. Instagram, Father Way, Jesus Truth, Spirit Life. Father Way, Spirit Truth. No. Father Way, Jesus Truth, Spirit Life. Is my Instagram. I'm never on there anyway. But that's my Instagram if you're interested. I don't think I did post something the other day, but I don't post them there that much. And I guess that's it. Freedom, if you're still there, man. Love you, brother. Talk to you soon. On Telegram or something, we'll talk. Text message or something. Everybody else, peace, love, and life, my friends. Until next time.